folks, what's going on today? Hope you're all doing really good. Today I'd like to talk about some right hand technique and some left hand technique here. So we're going to go over the little thing that I just played. It's kind of like James Brown-ish, okay? You know, like Sex Machine kind of, that kind of feel, but it's different, you know. And so anyways, I think it's good to go over both techniques, you know, your left hand and your right hand. I was watching a video the other day, which I don't get to do very often because I'm busy doing my own channel, but I like to watch, you know, Uncle Larry's channel and Guthrie and some of those guys, and I heard Uncle Larry talking about some kid that was playing in a studio and he was really gripping the neck really tight, probably nervous and tense and whatnot. So this is a good little thing to practice to kind of take care of that. And also about muting, comping, that kind of thing. So let's get right into it. If you guys want to learn what I was just playing, let's get our guitars out and we'll start right now. So we're going to play this 9 chord, right? The Hendrix chord. So some guys play it like this. I play it like this. So what we have is the A in the 7th. The D will be in the 6th. And the rest of the strings will just bar in the 7th too. Okay, the Hendrix thing. We all probably know that by now, hopefully. So anyway, what I was doing there was just... right? I'm adding that pinky on the B and the E. Okay? A whole step up, so it would be in the 9th fret. So basically that's all I'm doing is just that little move. Alright? Pretty simple. So now comes the strumming section. Alright, so what I was doing there was like... Alright, so let's work on that. We have... So it's... Now you notice I'm muting. I'm letting off the strings with my left hand, and I'll even palm mute the strings here to get that kind of, you know, little rake sound. So that's a good way to start it. Let's try that. Just so I'm letting off the strings. I'm not holding them down when I'm doing that down up thing. Okay? Right? Kind of like that, okay? Okay, like that. That's pretty slow. I'll try to do that kind of at that speed so we can get this together. So when I want to hear those strings, I'll push them down. When I don't want to hear that chord, I let off it just slightly. Just leave my fingers on the string so it mutes, okay? And you get that. So... Okay, so now we're going to do some upstrokes and we're going to add on to this. So what we have right now is this. Now we're going to do this little move. Okay, it's just down, up, down. It's down, ups basically here. I think I did 2 upstrokes there. I did. So 3 upstrokes and then a downstroke. So like that. I'll do it really slow. Okay? So if we add that on to what we already have, it's going to sound like this. I'll try to do it slow. That's the whole section. So we're just going back up there for that. So 1 and a 2 and a 3, 4. Whoop. Really slow. Sorry about that. So just be really relaxed when you're doing this. Don't tighten up on anything in either hand. You just want that really just kind of smooth sounding, you know, and funky. So we don't want to work too hard on the guitar. It shouldn't be a struggle all the time. It shouldn't feel like you're fighting it. Sometimes it does, and that can, you know, take us into other directions of greatness. But for this kind of stuff, you really need to relax and just try to be really smooth about it. Take it really slow. Pay attention to all the little mutes and all those little nuances, because that's what's really carrying the whole thing and making it sound funky. You know what I mean? So okay, so once you get that together, what we're going to add now is this. We got an E7 chord here. It's just like C7, right? I'm just going to slide her down here. What we're going to do is we're going to hit this once, and we're going to slide it back and forth. Now, this is what I was talking about. If you're gripping the neck really hard, this is going to tell you if you're playing too hard with your left hand, really. It needs to be really slinky, and you can only push down, you know, what is needed to make the notes sound clear. No harder than that. Just so practice that. One hit, right? Don't push too hard, you know, try to get away with the least amount of force you can. And when you go to that point and it's not sounding the notes out nice and clear, then push down just a little bit harder. And that's it. Try to keep, you know, don't put a lot of pressure between your thumb and the back of the neck. Just let that kind of slide around on there. You know, practice doing that. Just up. You can do them with these 9 chords. You know, it's going to be handy for a lot of different things. The main focus, though, is getting our hands trained so we're not, you know, wrestling the guitar. We just want to be smooth on this thing. And we want it to feel effortless while we do it. When you get to that point, then you're on to something big. You take that same technique wherever you go when you're learning songs, and it's going to just make things a lot easier for you. All right? So let's put this all together. Remember, we had this move first. Okay, so we're just going to add that. and then we're going to come right into that 9 chord again. All right, so really slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoop. So just remember, I'm only hitting this once. And then a downstroke on the 9, and that sets us right back up to where we started from. So really slow. Okay, really tough to do it slow. You almost have to work harder to do this slow, but you got to start out kind of slow. As weird as this may seem, but once you get, comfortable doing that, really the hardest part of this whole thing is that. That's one of the most valuable things of this lesson, okay? And the comping, too, as well. So let's go through it. I'm going to play it a little bit faster this time, and then I'll try to slow it down. Maybe that will help me to, slow it down instead of starting out really slow. So. So, that's just, a good place to start with this. And, playing funk music and stuff like that, you really got to have a lot of dynamics to make things pop, muting. A lot of it's what you don't play in funk music that makes it really funky, right? So that kind of stuff is, this isn't like going to be a great song or anything like that. This is just 2 chords and technique, okay, and some sort of rhythmic pattern so we can learn. So work on that, on its own, so you can do it without really scrunching down hard. I mean, if you have to wrestle and push really hard, you may want to go with a lighter set of strings even. I mean, totally up to you. I'm playing 9s, usually 942s, 946s. I play 10s too on certain guitars, but, the 9s feel nice and easy for me to play. And that's all about getting your grip, lessened. Because with heavier strings, you're going to have to grip it a lot harder to do it. So I find that the lighter strings are easier on my hands, and it just feels smoother for me to play on, really. To each his own. I'm not telling you what strings to play or anything like that, but I'm just trying to explain, the reasons why I do it. And it's mostly because of this stuff. Doing that. Playing with my fingers, too. Heavy strings kind of hurt my fingertips more, so I tend to use 942s or 46s, like I said. So enough about strings. So let's get back to this one more time. We'll just start out kind of slow, and we'll add the new figure to it. So. Okay, so as I got a little more tempo going there and a little more speed, I could feel it starting to get smooth. Now it's all about repetitions too. I mean, you got to get this down so it's clean, and you don't have to think a lot. That one. And then, like I said, just take this on its own at first and work on that slide. Try to make that feel as greasy as you can. And just, kind of keep that mindset. You don't want to be stiff when you're doing it because it's going to just really suck to play and it's not going to sound great. So it's all about the touch, okay? And the muting as well. When I hit that, I immediately let up off the strings. And keep everything quiet. That way, when I do those little breaks in between, that kind of stuff. So, you don't have to worry too much about, unwanted notes either. Because, that one's open button. My fingers are just touching the strings. That kind of thing. So I just wanted to pass that along. I do practice this more often than I guess I really realized. It's something that I do quite a bit. And it's different. You don't hear a lot of guitar players doing that, playing, funk patterns and doing these kind of slides and whatever. I think it's kind of unique, but it's also really, like I said, it's just more of a practice tool. And that's what it kind of started out with me. And, again, it was probably from James Brown. And I definitely listened to a ton of that growing up. James Brown, man, what bands he had there. To me, honestly, I mean, you guys will probably tear me to pieces in the comment section, but I think James Brown deserves more credit than maybe even Chuck Berry and those guys, which they were playing rock and roll riffs, but James Brown was playing on the beat. His drummers were playing on the one, all about the one, always about the one. But that's really, I think, what changed it up. He, his drummers and his band were the first guys to really put some powerful riffs together, and syncopate it perfectly. Up until then, it was more this kind of tic-tac drum sound, and it just wasn't on the beat and driving like the bass, the bass player wants that driving too, especially playing those funk lines and stuff. So in my opinion, I think that really had a big effect on music. But anyway, I figured I'd share this little routine with you and let you guys, kind of mess with it. And then that's kind of tricky too. Not necessarily the slide, but getting back onto the 9 chord. Okay, so it's that might kind of mess with you at first, but you'll get it together, I'm sure. And like I said, try to do it with the lightest touch you can with both hands until it sounds off or you're not getting all the notes clean, and then just tighten it up a little bit. Not a lot. You want that to feel like it's ice on there, on the fretboard, and you can just, skate around. That will help you, definitely. It's helped my rhythm playing a lot, my muting. It's different, like I said. So if you're playing in a band situation or even just a 3-piece, that can really fill the spaces up in a different way than we normally would play, okay? So that's my whole reason for sharing this, and I'm glad you guys liked the Van Halen video I did on little guitars. That's just a piece of the song, but we will get to more of that as well. But I was thinking about dynamics and muting and whatnot. Playing that tune, and that immediately brought me back to this. I said I should really show these guys this. That's probably not something you're gonna get in a book or whatever. So it's just a little technique to try. Okay. And again, I don't hear a lot of guitar players doing that, and I think it's cool, especially when you got a nice funk bass line and a good beat going on. That can be a head turner. At least the guys you're playing with. I know every time I've ever done that when we were jamming, they all, like, whoa, what was that? Something different. That's all we're after, but it's more about the technique, like I said. Just take it slow, as always. Work on, the syncopation, the upstrokes, all that kind of stuff. Muting here, muting with these fingers when you're not playing the chord. That kind of stuff. Well, all right, folks, I hope that helped out, and welcome to all the new subscribers. Thanks for checking out the channel. Just to let you know, this is the best community on YouTube. All the subscribers on this channel, top shelf. There's no animosity, very few negative comments, although I do get some drifters that come through and say something and try to enlighten us all, but I just kind of let them go. But for the most part, all the people that are subbed to this channel are cool. A lot of information gets passed back and forth on the channel as well in the comments section. So, feel free to engage. These guys are very knowledgeable. I've learned a ton of stuff myself off my own channel just from the comment section. So I think that's really special. And like I said, it's just a good bunch of people, and it's a lot of fun here. So thanks again. We'll see you guys real soon. Be good. Okie doke.